Hey, what's up guys? Back again here to show you my Japanese Sega Saturn collection, as well as a few pickups I made for the US Sega Saturn. We'll start with those. First up, I got the Street Fighter collection, and I got this at a pretty good deal. This includes Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold, as well as Super Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Comes in 2 discs. It's a really nice collection, arcade perfect pretty much, as most Saturn 2D fighters are. I only picked up 2 US Saturn games to add to the collection. Next is 3 Dirty Dwarfs, which is a lot of fun. It's also on the PC, but it's fun to play on the Saturn with the multi-tap. You could play up to 3 players. It's a lot of fun. It's usually pretty expensive, but I picked it up real cheap. So we'll start with the Japanese Sega Saturn games. First up, this is not in any kind of order. I got it In the Hunt, which is, I believe it's made by the people who made the Metal Slug games. It's a really cool, it's a unique shmup, you can call it, underwater submarine battling. Really fun game. We got King of Fighters 96. It didn't come with the back, but I just printed this out, kind of made my own. And I'm a huge fan of the King of Fighters games. I also have 97 somewhere around here. Got a Dragon Ball Z Legends, which I was a huge fan of on the PS1. I decided to pick it up on the Saturn. It's also a great action-packed, fast-paced game, true to the DBZ series. 2 Bomberman games. This is the 8-player Bomberman game. Really fun game with the multi-tap, and you could play on a huge widescreen mode, which lets you play up to 10 players. This Bomberman game is really weird. Reminds me of Bomberman 64. I think it's called Bomberman Fight, and it's alright. A little too crazy for my liking, but it's not bad and it's cheap. This game I haven't really given it much of a playthrough. I got it for free at it was just thrown into a lot that I picked up. It's called Deep Fear. I guess you can call it a Resident Evil clone, all the voice acting is in English and most of the inventory is in English, so you can figure your way through the game. It was never released in the US, but it was released in the UK. It's pretty fun from what I played. Next up, we got some Sunsoft fighters that were released. I don't have Galaxy Fight, but I have Waku Waku 7. It's a really fun game. A little cutesy, but it's fun, and you shouldn't be fooled by the cute look of the game because it's a pretty deep fighter. Only, I think, 8 fighters in the game, but it's really fun. This is Sunsoft's last release on the Saturn. It was developed on the Sega Saturn STV, which is the arcade, so it runs perfectly, very minimal load times except for the beginning, and it's a in-the-air fighting game. All takes place in the air. It's really fast-paced, great graphics, definitely recommended. Here's King of Fighters 97. I like it better than 96. My favorite one's probably 99, and I have that on the AES. I prefer to play the King of Fighters games on the Neo Geo rather than on Saturn, and Saturn only has 95, 96, and 97. Next up, Real Bout Collection, which has 2 Real Bout games. Real Bout Special, I think it's called. It's a really good one. I like it a lot. Some more Capcom games here. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Another awesome 2D fighter with some great graphics. It requires the 4 MB RAM card. Same with these as well. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Pretty much the same game, but with X-Men characters instead of Marvel Superheroes. Another great 2D fighter here, Vampire Savior. And I'm a huge fan of the Darkstalker series as well. Printed this back label, didn't come with one. I think it's because it's supposed to be packaged with the 4 MB RAM card in the box, so the back is not shown on there. One of my favorite fighting series of all time is the Samurai Showdown series. This is the Samurai Showdown Best Collection with Samurai Showdown 3 and 4. They're not as good as the Neo Geo original games, obviously, but it does the job on the Saturn, and they're a lot of fun. Also, we have here Street Fighter Alpha 3 or 03, a Japanese release only for the Sega Saturn, and this one was packaged with the 4 MB RAM card. I think this is the best version. I own all three of them on the Dreamcast, PS1, and the Saturn, and I prefer this one out of the other two. It has the original sprite sizes and all the characters and most of the modes that are on the Dreamcast, not all of them though. Also, we have here Christmas Nights in the Dreams. If you're a fan of the original Nights, this is a no-brainer. It's pretty cheap and it's a lot of fun. Once it's December, you get some Christmas levels that are really unique and have a great Christmas feel to them. Here we have some more shmups. One of my favorites, and it's by Toa Plan, which I think became Cave later on. And that's Batsugun. This game is hard as hell, but it's a lot of fun. No slowdown at all, and don't think it was released on any other console. So it's a great game to have on the Sega Saturn. Here we have Donpachi and Dodonpachi. And these are two good games. I don't like them as much as Batsugun. They were published by Atlas. They're really good nonetheless, but I think you would be better off getting them on the PS1 if you could, because they were better ports. This game I'm not even going to try to say, but it's probably my favorite shmup on the Saturn. I can put a comment below with the name of the game, but it's definitely a good game and it's worth picking up. It reminds me of a Galactic Attack with the targeting below and above the screen. Really good game. And finally we have Cyberbots limited edition. Comes in this huge box with some extras. Another good Capcom 2D fighting game. Definitely worth picking up. It comes with a 3D Cyber Akuma. I could do an unboxing of it later on, but I'm not going to do it in this video. But that pretty much wraps it up for my Sega Saturn Japan imports. Definitely worth importing if you own a Saturn. The US didn't get a lot of those awesome games that the Saturn got in Japan, and it lasted a lot longer in Japan. So it's really easy. You just need the 4 MB RAM card right here. That's all you need to play import games. You just stick it in the system, and there you go. It has the 4 and 1 MB graphic memory expansions, and allows you to play imports, as well as has a cheat database, which you don't really need, but it's a cool feature. So thanks guys, and look forward to another video, maybe on my Neo Geo AES that I picked up recently. Thanks guys.